Hey guys, welcome back. Bodie 101 here, and we are back in the world of Infinity, picking up a little bit after we left off. I did stream this week of this game, and I'll kind of show you what I set up. So as you guys can see, I made a couple of Sterling generators. I don't actually have them set up on this thing quite yet, but I have them there. I did run some conduits into the base, so as you can see, we have a pretty decent amount of supply coming in, and it gives us a little bit more room for this bad boy. This thing is not running insanely fast. That sheep is still alive down there, so good for him. But it's running at a decent pace. It's, you know what, it's good enough for me, and as you can see, it is kind of keeping up. So I also made a Tinker's Sword, and I called it the Stream Sword. So what it has is has Slimy, Rideable, Reinforced 2, Auto Repair, and Luck. It is an Alumite sword. It's got some pretty good durability. The attack is okay. We can kind of add to that because I do have some modifiers. And you can see it's Moss and Lapis. And it's pretty much, I think it's a Alumite sword blade, a slimy tool rod, and paper binding. So that gives it kind of all those effects. So, all right. So, what I wanted to do this episode is I'm gonna do some cleanup, some work, but we took kind of a little break of the our little chit-chatty time that we had with each other, and I kind of want to get back to that. A handful of episodes back, I had asked you guys to possibly put some stuff in the chat that you guys would like to talk about. Now, even though I have a very wide base in reference to age of my chats, and what I mean by that is I have 9-year-olds to 50-year-olds, and to be dead honest with you, I love that. I love the fact that there's such a wide base. But admittedly, most of the questions I had were probably from kind of the younger teenage route of questions. So, how's my lava doing over here, by the way? I think I'm pretty low. Yeah, I need to get some more lava. Maybe that's what we'll do. Is there stuff in here? There's a little bit. I can, you know what, I'm just going to take this tank. Maybe. Give it to me. Okay. And we're gonna go pick ourselves up some lava because we need some more. I just gotta remember where there is lava. Do I have a bucket on me? I do. Okay. Anyways, so one thing that a couple people had mentioned was really just kind of talking about, and this is once again going to be a little bit more on the teenage level. But you know what? This isn't something that goes away the minute you turn 20 or anything like that. Let's look at our map and see if we can find a place that has lava. Ooh, there's a crater. We should go check that out. That will only have one source block, or a few. Let's head. Where are we? We're right here. Let's just head south and see if we can get to this one. I think that'll probably be the closest lava source we can get. So south, this way. All right. So a lot of people, asked about just talking about kind of body image issues. Right, and this is something that really, when you're like a kid, when you're like 9, you honestly, you don't care. You don't care, If you make it through a day without basically just having a snot bubble sitting on your face for the entire day, it's a banner day. You're good, right? Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Let me take a drink here. All right, so, am I going? Yeah, I'm going south. We'll check out that meteor as we go as well. Anyways, but it's something that's really kind of hits heavy in puberty and can honestly be there for the entirety of someone's life. And, I mean, I kind of look at it like this, is that you can sit there and you can dwell on it. You can, especially the things that are genetic. Okay, you're a hodgepodge of your mom and dad. Your mom and dad are a hodgepodge of their moms and dads, and so on and so forth. So the way I look at it is, there's been this very specific line of people that basically, most of them without ever knowing you, have given a piece of themselves to you. Okay? And it could be anything. It could be your nose, your lips, your eyes, how tall you are, how short you are, any of these things, right? And if you kind of look at it like that, to where it's like, okay, you go back, 5 generations, your great, 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 great grandparents, these people met, they fell in love, they had a child, and they put half of themselves into that child, right, of what they were made up of. And then, that child, grew up, met another person, they fell in love, they had a baby, and they put it in. And it kind of trickles down. And, you always hear about, like, a family tree and everything like that and whatnot. And that's really kind of where that's at, is that these are the people that literally gave a piece of themselves to make you. So you can sit there and be like, oh, I hate this about me, I hate that about me and whatnot. But, this is something that your family basically, built you, you know? And I think I don't know, there's something about that has always been, it's hard to explain. It's always been kind of, I don't know if the word calming is necessarily the right word, but it's always been satisfying to me that it's like, I am a makeup of all of these different people, these people that I've never met, that I never knew, that I, never knew me, and, I'm made up of their qualities. So, and, people, nowadays, the quick fix is, oh, I'm going to, well, I don't like my nose, so I'm going to go get plastic surgery. Oh, I don't like my lips, I'm going to go get plastic surgery. I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, I don't like that. All this stuff, And they're constantly complaining about what they don't like and what they want to change and what makes them unhappy and whatnot. It's like, to me, it's really a case of like, I don't know, embrace what you are, And now with that, okay, now you're at that point, you're kind of talking genetics, okay? Now, let's say you're not happy with, let's say, weight, okay? That's something, in some scenarios, that's something pretty different, because that is something that you could do something about, And, there's all these quick fix, diet pills and all this stuff that everybody's looking for, the quick, easy, 10-minute solution. And, it doesn't work that way. It just straight up doesn't work that way. You got to put in the work. But what you have to do with that is you have to, if you decide that's something you want to do, and that's not for everybody. Trust me, guys. Needless to say, I'm not known for my sit-up skills, to say the least. My job is sitting in a chair and eating cookies and playing a video game, so, there's that. But, the big thing when it comes down to all of it is that regardless of what the scenarios are, regardless of what the situation is, just embrace it. Because I'll tell you right now, okay, because generally when it comes to body image issues, and I'm not talking like ones that are tied to like severe depression or anything like that, but ones that are, I can't get a girlfriend or a boyfriend because of how I look. You know what? Don't rush. There's somebody, and I know this sounds cliche, there's somebody out there for every single person. Whatever, however you look, there are, not even going to say somebody, there are people out there that's their thing. They're into it. So I'm going to try and make some more of these Endo Flames. I really want to get the Botania going in this pack. So I need some red mana petals and some brown mana petals. Let's see what we can get away with here. But like I said, I mean, just take the time to really kind of, make friends. Um, I'll use, go a little bit, fourth wall here. I'll use Heather and I. I was in a relationship for a long time. I was actually in a couple relationships for a really long time. And, when those relationships end, you have this fear of like, and I'll tell you this right now. I don't care who you are. This doesn't end at puberty, okay? The fear of, oh God, I'm alone now. Am I going to be alone forever? I'll tell you right now, my entire life. I was married for 10 years. I was weirdly just single for 4 days. And then I was straight into a relationship for 7 years. And then I was single for probably about 8-9 months, and then that's when I met Heather. And Heather's a perfect example. Just like I said, using us as an example is she watched. For any of you guys that may not know, she has 3 boys, and they like watching, just like the rest of you guys. They like watching YouTubers, right? And but because she's a good mom, she basically feels that she wants to kind of check out people's channels, right? Before she lets her boys, just to make sure they're PG and they're not, cussing all the time or anything like that. Where am I going to put this lava? Let's just put it like right here. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite us. All right. Anyways, but yeah, so she watched the videos just to make sure that they were appropriate. The boys had seen me, through Husky's channel and whatnot. And so she checked out my channel, and she thought, the stuff was funny. It was entertaining, so she started watching them for herself. And then she, came to the streams. We got talking. I thought she seemed really cool. Added her on, added her on Twitter, then added her on Skype. We talked, and now we're pretty much at our 1-year anniversary. We live on opposite sides of the country. We have, and this is something a lot of you may not know, we've actually never met in person. We both have kids. Between the two of us, we have 5 kids. So the act of getting some time, the money and the time to hang out is a little bit tough. So, and we are, and like I said, neither of us are in, an insane rush or anything like that. So, let's grab a stack of these, a couple stacks of these. How many things can we make? But anyways, like I said, I mean, that's a scenario where, on paper, we should have never met. Complete opposite side, different parts of the country, everything else. And it just happened, and that's the biggest thing is, don't sit there and obsess about, this girl isn't going to like me or this guy's not going to like me and everything. Just make friends, because you never know who you're going to come across in your life that's going to end up being that perfect person for you. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. Just focus on being happy, having fun, making friends. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Those are that girl or guy in school that, you pine over and, that is a lot of brass. I should not have put all that copper in there. There's always that guy or girl in school that, they're the perfect person and that's who I would love to date. And what ends up happening is you end up kind of screwing yourself over a little bit, because you focus so hard on that one person that you can easily miss out on somebody right in front of you who's even more perfect. There's always the joke and the whole internet meme thing and everything like that about the whole friend zone thing and everything like that, where it's like, and I don't know how many times I've seen people that I know that there's somebody who's perfect for them. They're into the same stuff. They dig the same stuff and everything. And, but they're, they kind of, put them in the quote unquote friend zone. And because they're so focused on this other person, this other person, if this person could just notice me, if this person was interested in me, if whatever else, then everything in my life would come together. Everything will be perfect. And it doesn't work that way, guys. It straight up just doesn't work that way. And the more you obsess about it, what ends up happening is you drive yourself crazy. You end up putting this person on such a pedestal that even if the scenario happens that you do get with them, you're going to be disappointed. I'm not saying every time, and I'm not trying to kind of be a buzzkill and being like, anybody you have a crush on sucks. No, But, if you're interested in somebody and they don't kind of feel the same. Wait, where is this at? That's cool. Do I not have aluminum brass up here? Huh. Let's take these. We'll stick these here. Because like I said, me and Heather work out great. I'm super lucky that we met and, right place, right time and stuff like that. But it wasn't like, she wasn't like, trolling YouTube being like, oh, I wonder who's out there. And I wasn't like, anytime a girl got into my chat, I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Modi. Yeah, you like that? Look at the beard. Drink it in. It was just, we talked and we got along and we talked and there was, that interest there and it worked out. Here's the funny part. If we didn't end up dating, she still would have ended up being one of my best friends I've had. And that's the most important part. Above anything else that there is, the fact that you can basically, date somebody and be comfortable to just kind of, talk about private stuff, to goof around, and to be yourself. To look how you look, to be how you are, to act how you act, as long as you're not being a jerk or anything like that. And then to have somebody who's still there for you. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know about you, that's what I'd be looking for. More important than, haircuts and how someone looks and symmetry and stuff. And I understand from a primitive level, your primitive instincts are looking for that person that is going to be, genetically superior to raise children. You're not worrying about that right now. You're just looking for someone to hang out with and have laughs and watch a movie with and, be there if something crappy goes down, if something, something major or minor happens in your life, good or bad, you have somebody to share it with. That's all you should be looking for. And don't, like I said, don't stress about it, because what ends up happening a lot of the time is you get people who are so stressed out about the whole body image thing that either they become reclusive. And, if you're not talking to people, not meeting new people, not, finding new friends, well, yeah, you're never going to be in a relationship, period, And then, or you're going to end up, kind of how a bully is, where to mask how you feel about your whole deal, you're just going to sit there and just kind of crap on everyone else. And honestly, that is probably one of the few things that I can kind of say, and I kind of had a rant about this a handful of episodes back, about the internet. Most of the people that just go into chat, go into comment sections or go into a Twitch chat or something like that, and they're just awful people. They're just messed up. They're sad, they're unhappy, they're whatever else. And you know what? If everyone else feels like crap, then I'm not the only one. And that is just a crappy way to be. Just be a good person. Make friends. Don't be a pushover. Friendship is about equality, but at the same time, be compassionate, be a friend. I mean, I'll tell you right now, that's the best situation you can get into. So, and hey, if it turns out that the person you have a crush on and you find attractive is also the person that can be your best friend, awesome. But, I mean, and the funny part is it will be that way. It will be in the scenario. So I don't know if that was really kind of the gear that most of you guys were talking about, but that's, something that's been there. I don't care who you are. There's always something about every person that they don't like in themselves. I don't care who it is. You take the 80-year-old guy who's, been around the world 50 times. You take a 20-year-old supermodel. You take a guy working the construction site, and you take a philosopher from 1,000 years ago. And you know what? All of them, there's something. There's something that they wish was different. Just embrace it, guys. I'll give you a perfect example. I have been able to grow facial hair since like junior high, and I hated it. I hated the fact that it seems like it's cool, but that I was shaving and having a 5 o'clock shadow in homeroom and stuff like that. Here's the funny part. Eventually I just embraced it. I got a big beard. It's goofy and hilarious. There's probably food in it somewhere. There's a good chance there's a dead body in there. There were some mobsters hanging around by my left ear the other day. I think they might have dumped a body in my beard. But you know what? I embrace it. And the funny part is, Heather would kick my butt if I shaved it off. And it was something that when I, was in high school and stuff like that, people used to give me crap about, I just embraced it. So that's the best thing you can do. So, all right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap things up there. We got a little bit done. We got a little cleanup of the base done. But once again, I really enjoy this series for the chit-chatting. It does affect my overall views. I think there's a lot of people that aren't really, this isn't kind of their cup of tea. They're not looking to have, this kind of serious one-on-one time. It's like, come on, Modi, make a couple fart jokes. Let's get to this. Come on, buddy. I make plenty of content with this. This is the one where this is the slow jams of the of my series. This is where we just sit down, break it down, hang out, chit chat, have some fun, and talk about things. So once again, like I said, any one of these videos, if you want to throw in anything that maybe is something that's on your mind, something that you just don't feel like comfortable like walking up to someone face to face and saying, hey, what are your thoughts on this? That is the one good part about anonymity on the internet is, no one knows you from anybody when it comes to a username. Throw something out there. We'll talk about it. If it helps, awesome. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But who knows? You may have a question. Here's the funny part. For every single person who puts something in the comments of like, hey, could you talk, what is your opinion on this? I guarantee you there's 100 other people watching the video who have the exact same question and may not have necessarily had the guts to bring it up. They felt that they were alone. They felt that they were the only one. And just in a lot of scenarios, knowing that you're not the only one, oh man, you have no idea how much that can just straight up help scenarios, so. All right, guys, well, we're going to wrap it up there. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Questions, comments, concerns, or any topics that you guys would like to go over, make sure you throw it down in the comment section. And until the next episode of Infinity, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.